A kavod? Yeah, because their malchus is all the way down. Our malchus is moving up rapidly. But this is Haman. These are the ones who were responsible for the Holocaust, responsible for Jews not being able to escape the Holocaust. England shut the door on the Jewish people. They could have saved hundreds and thousands of Jews. Instead, they put them in concentration camps in Cyprus. What? Or sent them back. All one monarchy. So let's go back. So when you see a monarch, you bring him bread because he's all about bread. Monarch, and I've said this many times, the word lechem, what's his responsibility? Is milchama, war. Okay? And who else gives lechem out? The next case is Yaacov and Esav. What does Yaacov give Esav? Lechem u'nesid anashim. He gives him bread. It says you're supposed to feed your enemies what? Bread. That's why we give the monarchs bread. So that they'll leave us alone. That's why. And then when the brothers Nebuch sold Yosef, what did they do? They sat down. And when Yosef gave it back to them, he said, I can't sit together with you. Why? Because it's an abomination for the Egyptians. Lechol es ha'ivrim lechem. Notice it says lechol es ha'ivrim. Because you eat bread. When you wage a war and you conquer an enemy, you devour them. You take over their land, their territory, their wealth, their everything. That's what it means. When the Meraglim were afraid to go in Eretz Yisrael, stands up Kalev and says, Alon aleh. Why? Ki yochol nuchala. We can conquer them. Why? Ki lachmeinu hein. They are our bread. And we'll eat them up. Okay. So now let's understand what this is all about. On the deepest level, bread, according to Reb Hirsch, is not grain, but it's more associated with the word milchama, or struggle. Bezeas apecha tocha lechem, or tucha lechem. You will win your battle against the Yetzer Hara with what? Hard work. It's hard work to defeat the Yetzer Hara. What does the Yetzer Hara's main tool? The gaiva, the taiva, right? The three primary averos, which the Jewish people have to rid themselves of because they are the primary tools of the Yetzer Hara. The three big averos that Jews must be willing to give their very lives for. Not violate is gilui arayos, right? Immorality, shvichus damim, murder, right? And avodah zarah, idolatry. So my Rosh Hashiva, Torah Das, Rabbi Dali Shore, Torah Das 100th dinner is coming up in 2 weeks, by the way. I might be there, I'm not sure. 100th dinner. He said, these three averos in our parsha, which represent Kiddush Hashem, core value of Kiddush Hashem, correspond to the three things on which the world rests. Torah, Avodah, and Gemilus Chasadim. Ritzicha is the opposite of Chesed. Right? The ultimate kindness is to give life as opposed to shedding blood. Right? What about Torah? Torah is our geder against our rayot. Because remember, we get to Har Sinai, we have to separate out the men and the women, make sure the boundaries. It's all about, our riot is about proper boundaries. Some are permissible and some are not. Just like the Kohanim. Doesn't mean it's... In other religions, their idea of priests was to completely withdraw from any intimacy. That's not Jewish. We just want boundaries. Whether you're a Kohen Gadol, you need to install a boundary. If There's no gvul, there's no kedusha. Hence, they can't just marry anybody that they want. Your Kohen is supposed to be on a higher level of kedusha. You can't just marry anybody that you want. And even a Yisroel cannot marry anybody that they want. And nor can they be with their wife anytime that they want. There are always boundaries. If you want kedusha, there's boundaries. That's Har Sinai. That's Torah. Torah, Barati Torah, Barati Yetzirah, Barati Torah Tavlin, the Gemara says in Kedushin. Torah is an antidote to the Yetzirah. Wait a minute. The word Tavlin does not mean antidote. What does a Tavlin mean? You know, you go by Tavlin name. Spice. You have to know how to spice it, cook it, and prepare it so that it is acceptable. That's true. Torah is the Tavlin. It's not the antidote to the Yetzirah. People who have no Yetzirah are dead. And that's pretty tummy. Gotta be alive. Come to life. But within the parameters. Spice it. Know how to spice it right. Not too much, not too little. Okay. So the third Aveira, we said Gilei Arayos, Shvichos Damim. Shvichos Damim again is the anti-chesed. Gilei Arayos is the anti-Torah. What's left? Avoda, prayer. Right? Avoda Zarah. Who are you praying to? Who do you think is your solution in life? Is it Hashem or is it your own activism, energy, koach? Then Rabbi Shor goes and says, then the three holidays, which we have in Emor, match those three concepts as well. Who can think which is which? Well, which is Torah? Which of the three holidays represents Torah? Shavuot. And again, Shavuot is Matan Torah, and Torah is the boundary against Arayot. Tavlet. It's a tablet. Put it in proper balance. It's called balance. Not too salty, not too tasty, not too peppery. Just right. A little bit is good, not too much. And then, so which holiday is against Avodah Zarah? Pesach, because we bring the carbon Pesach at the time where Hashem destroyed all the idols and proved that all the idols were worthless. And what is, therefore, the remaining holiday of Sukkot? That is going to be the holiday of Chesed. It's the holiday of Chesed. Why is it a holiday of Chesed? Because we go out of our homes, we're sharing our lives with other people, and we're giving generously of our crops to everybody. That's how we celebrate Chag Sukkot. Right? Now, the overarching concept of all the Moadim in this week's Parshas Shabbos. We're going to read this next week. At the beginning of Parshas Bahar, which is this Shabbos, comes an incredible teaching. An incredible teaching. It says, Ma inyan Shemitah et Har Sinai. Why are the laws of Shemitah? Why does it say that Hashem gave it to us Bahar Sinai? Everything was from Har Sinai, wasn't it? Wasn't everything from Har Sinai? So why single out the mitzvah of Shemitah of the sabbatical year? So Rashi says an incredible thing. Rashi says that it's chosen here because I might have thought that mitzvahs were given 2 times. Once at Har Sinai, and the whole book of Dvarim, right, takes place at the end of the 40 years. Most of the Torah took place, at least past the Exodus, in the first 2 years. First 2 years, what do we have? They left Mitzrayim. They had their first Pesach. They didn't have bread. They got the man. They get water. They end up at Har Sinai. They get the Torah, and then comes the Chet of the Egel. And then the whole summer they're doing tshuva. And then after they're building the Mishkan, they wait till next Pesach, the next Nisan to dedicate it, and then after that Nisan, we prepare to send the spies out to Eretz Yisrael and then we end up with that problem, the problem of Korach, and then we don't find anything happening for 38 years. So I might have thought that there was like a second part of Torah, Mishnah Torah. There's many new mitzvahs there. Says Rashi, no. The entire Torah, whichever Torah would emerge, even recorded later in the book of Dvarim, was already fully explained to Moshe Rabbeinu beforehand. Even if the history didn't happen yet, what do you mean? There was no Meraglim at Har Sinai, but the principles of the Torah were already firmly established. It was all there. It just had to come out. But it was all firmly there. So everything is rooted in what? Shemitah. Every single mitzvah is rooted in the mitzvah of Shemitah. Why? Because Shemitah is the concept of Shabbos, which we got at Har Sinai, right? Fully, we received the mitzvah of Shabbos. We had a little bit of the mitzvahs of Shabbos, Kavod Shabbos, we got before Matan Torah to prepare us, but the Ikar mitzvah of Shabbos and of all sanctification of time comes at Har Sinai. Why Shabbos? Because Shabbos is the main teaching of faith that counteracts the three big Yetzirahs. Okay? Why does it counteract the three Yetzirahs? Can you cook food on Shabbos? No, you can't eat, right? Can you get married on Shabbos? No. Can you, on Shabbos, create an idol or offer a personal karma? Can't do anything, right? Exactly. All man's entire creative activity comes to a halt. Whatever your yetzer, whatever your desire is, which is not bad, we just have to put the right spices on it, encourage it along, sublimate it toward in the right direction. That's the Jewish way. Everything else is goyim. Goyim run from reality. Jews do not run from reality. We engage reality. What is running from reality? That is the Yetzirah. The Yetzirah tries to tell us that there's a different reality than the truth, and we believe it. Says to Chava, Hamina Eitz Hazeh, God said, bottom line, don't eat from this tree. He goes, well, maybe you should eat from the tree. Maybe he's pulling a fast one on you. Maybe we should doubt him. Maybe there's something wrong here. All sorts of questions and doubts. Amalek is begematria safek. When you're in safek, you don't know what to do. When there's clarity, it's clear. You're either a man or a woman. There is a category in halacha, two other categories in which basically you have to do a surgery and you'll find out whether it's a man or a woman. But it can't be both. An androgynous can have both simanim. But if somebody who's born a male or born a female, right, does not then acquire the ability to become a different gender.
What if they're born like that, and what are they?
Big machlokas. What a androgynous is considered primarily a woman is considered primarily big things. It actually comes out as its own unique being. It was like the being that we were like when we were first created, sort of. You might want to look at it that way, but it's different.
What's it called?
Androgynous, androgynous. It's taken from a Greek word, androgynous, right? But to induce androgyny is not reality. Okay? Law is law. Fiction is fiction. In America today, we look over there and we say, this is where we came from. What happened to the rule of law? Someone's elected, accepted he's elected. No. Someone who's investigated for committing crimes. Did they commit the crime? I don't know. But you're the one who has to decide. Finally comes along and we decided, no, don't accept that. Because in my personal humble opinion, it's like this. And a person is entitled to their individual truth, right? That is precisely the Yetzirah. The precise Yetzirah definition is that everybody's in their own head, in their own world, with their own perceptions. And when we make a deal that I can indulge my Yetzirah, you can indulge your Yetzirah, don't bother me from my Yetzirah, and I won't bother you from your Yetzirah. And that's the deal we're cutting. Of course, unless it causes global warming, then it's a different story. Then we all control you, right? So the distortion of reality, we are in a massive battle for the truth. A lechem milchama. Lechem milchama. So this is what Rabbi Hirsch says. Hirsch says, don't think that bread means bread. This one, I saw a nice article by a friend of mine. His name is Tripp, Mr. Tripp. He said like this: the verb lechem, according to Hirsch, means to struggle. And bread is called by this term to reflect that man has to struggle for their daily bread. And Hirsch added and observes, a man first has to struggle to wrest his daily bread from nature, and then he has to struggle with his fellow man to keep it. Es lechem Hashem Elokav Humachriv. Who is the one who helps us diffuse the Yetzer Hara, teach us the realities, teach us the boundaries, teach us how to manage the Yetzer Hara? Who is that person? The Kohen. Lechem Hashem Humachriv. He is the one who conducts this battle, who wages the Milchemes Molech on a daily basis, which is our own daily struggle with Yetzer Hara. That's what it is. Parnasa is related to perception. What's permissible, what's not permissible, what's ethical, what's not ethical, what's a proper way to acquire money, what's not a proper way to acquire money. Can I trust God, or do I have to take matters into my own hands? Do I follow the law, or do I bend the rules? That is the battle. A Jew's battle is that. You know why a Jew's battle is that? Think about Yaacov Avinu, what he went through with Lavan. Every day he's called what? A swindler and a cheat, right? He says, we don't conduct ourselves in this community the way you conducted yourselves. We don't give away the younger ahead of the elder like you twisted people. Oh, moral. Lavan takes the moral high ground. Oh, Yaakov, you're immoral. That's what the Yetzer Hara can do. You're wrong. Yaakov spends his whole life justifying himself. His honesty. And that's that final dialogue he has with Lavan. He says, did I steal from you one thing? I worked day and night. I froze. I burnt. I did it not one iota. And what is the perception of the world of Jews which has not changed one iota? What? You are thieves. What did you steal? You stole money. What do you mean money? Who does money belong to? Not the Jews. We are the Baalim of this world. It's our world. If we want to give you a little money, we'll give you a little money, but it's our decision. Not up to you. And if we want to have a little bit of land, we'll decide how much land you have. It's not up to you. And even the best of them still decide this no and this yes, which is also not true. Which is also Yetzer Hara we can't fall to. I'll give you the entire land of Israel. Just don't ask me about Arabias. Where was that from? Where was that from? Today or yesterday? Both. What was Achashverosh really telling Esther, who battled the real Haman? He said to her, listen, Esther, I'll give you anything. Ad what? Ad chatzi malchus. You know when you break something in half, what happens to it? It crumbles. He says, I'll give you anything, but don't break my monarchy. That means that I have to be the replacement for Jerusalem. It can't be two monarchies. It's either Yerushalayim or Galus. It's either us or them. Don't ask me to. You can ask me anything you want in insight. In my kingdom, in my world, in my reality, in my Yetzer Hara, you can have anything you want. I'll give you. But if you don't break my reality or challenge my reality, no. But of course, what happens? All the money of Haman goes where? To build the Beis Hamikdash. And on the other hand, another shot is that when we go off into our fantasies and Yetzer Haras, who comes to remind us that we're really not supposed to be doing those things? That's when anti-Semitism and Amalek comes. And our dear brothers and sisters in America are going through an incredible, incredible test. Was everything that they thought was true and good and worthy, right, is now being shown to have no connection to Israel, which is the core and central Judaism. You cannot be Jewish Being Jewish and being pro-Israel is now a massive test. Who are you going to choose? Hashem is putting a choice in front of people. And it's a very sad thing, because their world is being broken. Ad Chatzia Malchut, it's crumbling in front of them. What's moral? Israel's not moral. The Jewish people are not moral. Values and good works, but that's what we gave up our whole lives for that principle, for equality and social justice and fairness, right? Yeah, but there's only one problem: Jews in Israel are not involved in that. Now what are you going to do? Great, incredible test. Okay, so last thing, by the way, by our brother Arabs, you know what the word lechem means? Meat. The word in Arabic for lechem is meat. Because what's their struggle? Think about it. What's their struggle? They don't eat each other. That's their battle. They're fighting with each other, So their war that they contest with is to be peaceful with one another and not swallow each other. That's why Basar, bread doesn't interest them. They got plenty of money. They got more money than they know what to do with. But another brother who's in charge and who I'm going to trust with, that's their test. But our test is just the basic. We're not carnivores by nature. We're simpler by nature. We just want to be Yaacov Avinu in front of the world, showing that we want to help people, we want to do good, we want to bring the base of Mikdash, which is going to be good for all people. And the Navi says to us, at the end of days, so this will conclude, Lechem will be medicine. No more Jewish doctors, or maybe especially Jewish doctors. The lechem and salt will by itself be able to cure, or more importantly, refine the Yetzer Hara, decontaminate the Yetzer Hara. Again, that's why, what do you give a foreign king? Bread and salt, saying, oy vey, you're the Yetzer Hara. We're going to take you and try and turn you into a good monarch, into a good king, into somebody who supports Israel and Jewish people. Incredible symbol. Okay, so did we answer all our questions?
Oh, which Navi said that?
Yeah, question.
Why can't a Kohen marry divorce?
Because their goal is to show us how to use the Torah as a topic. They themselves have to be very, very guarded, because they are the ones who teach us about lechem, meaning the battle with the Yetzer Hara. If they themselves have a little bit of an issue, right, are not so pure, they can't do it. Now, that's why you're allowed, a Kohen who's Baal Mum is allowed to eat the karbanos, because the karbanos are the cure. And he's got a mum. So of course he needs to eat it. Because for him himself, it's a cure. It's a refuah. And that's what we really need to know. That the Yetzer Hara itself, when properly harnessed, is the solution to everything. That was Yosef and Tzaddik. Yosef was the mashbir. By being the tzaddik, he was able to provide for everyone life-giving goodness and sustain everybody. But you got to be in there, and you got to know how to fight that battle. Yosef had that big battle, which was the affair that he had to struggle with the most. He had to struggle with arayot, right? Core, Yetzer Hara. But also he had to struggle with wealth, right? About avodah zarah. He could have made himself an avodah zarah. Shvichas damim. He could have had his brothers killed. He doesn't kill anybody. He doesn't fall into that trap. He's Yosef and Tzaddik, and therefore he provides good for everybody. That's our destiny. This is who we are. We're the Baal Lechem, Baal Mecham. By the way, where's Mashiach come from? Which little town does David Melech hail from? Beit Lechem. And notice how the Goyim made a big deal about that point. Mashiach comes from Beit Lechem. Because Mashiach will be the one who will help us salt the Yetzer Hara and turn this world from a place of Ilyarat, Shvichas Damim, Avodah Zarah to a place of what? Torah, Avoda, and Milus Chesed.
What did you say about the slaves?
Yes. I think
because that slave is in the process of becoming Jewish. So they're being fed the bread, which is important. Anyway, but that's what the Omer is also. The Jews ate the mun. And we go through that experience during Sfiras Omer too. It's like eating the mun, meaning that we're getting a healing. That's why matzah has to be without any Yetzer Hara attached to it, because that's the beginning of the process. And when all goes well, and we get all our boundaries in place, and we get to Har Sinai, and we're all set up properly with Kedusha, we can get the Shtey Halechem, which really are the two Loaves.